Welcome to our first programme of the new year, and our first question of the new year, which comes from Sam Brindle, please.
Given renewed calls for banks to show restraint with bonuses, is it not time for politicians to legislate instead of castigate?
I think it's a tricky one, really, because on the one hand, I think that the country right now, as a general economy, we have real financial issues, and I think we need to raise money from wherever we can, and we've just experienced a very tricky situation, which is what we've done with the students to try and raise money. The banking sector is generating over £50 billion a year, to the government. And I think that's created because bankers are incentivised to make profits. And on the one hand, we're incentivising people to make money, and then we're penalising them when they do make the money because we, the government, need that money in the first place.
Considering the predicted outcome for the Lib Dems in the Oldham by-election, would you agree that the public are more angry about the Lib Dems' broken promises than the Conservatives' unpopular policies?
I think it's a very difficult decision because I think when the Liberal Democrats were rolling out the manifesto, they clearly didn't know at the time that they'd have the opportunity to govern. And I think
that's no excuse, James.
Well, I think at the time they said what they thought was what the public needed to hear.
You're saying you think that the English baccalaureate will be a kind of stamp of approval?
Yeah,
that if you've done these things, you can go on, and if you haven't, you're
if you
beyond the
haven't
pale.
got it, then you're no good. Your subjects are no good, and your school is deemed to be a failure because it does not excel in these traditional subjects.
James Caan, do you think?
I mean, I don't necessarily read it as a success or failure, and I do think right now the global economy is changing. I think the workplace is changing, and I think there's been a desperate cry for a development of our education system. And I think if you look at the challenge and the competition that we're getting from India, from China, from other parts of the world, unless we improve our education system and bring our own students in line with global competition, we're just not going to be in a position to compete for those jobs. And I think the current education system does make it weaker. And I think as a government, we would be irresponsible, I think, unless we upgraded that whole system.